What's going on, everybody? This is Raw Club Archives, episode 2, and I just wanted to introduce one of our special guests. We got DJ Montechristo in the building. LA represent, California represent. What's going on, Monty? Introduce yourself.
My name is Monte Cristo. Born and raised in Sacramento, California. Been in Los Angeles for about 15 years now. Yeah, I guess I am a local Angelino now. In my soul, I live in New York City. But we'll get there. We'll get there.
I love that. I love that. So I just really appreciate you coming on this because I know you're really busy, and it's kind of funny how we met. We met years ago online, just for our love of fashion, our love of a lot of similar stuff, and then I ended up meeting you in LA, and it was a great experience, and you showed nothing but hospitality and love. The time I was out there, I really saw how much you know. LA is kind of like it's really just a down to earth place what you showed me, and I feel like it
Uh,
gets like a bad rap, like for
yeah.
being very fake, very I remember us going to the swap meet and running into Kalani,
Oh
like
yeah,
stuff like
yeah.
that, and it
Oh
was
yeah,
just
she was there.
and it was just real regular. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't,
Yeah.
but people I feel like have a misconception about LA. And do you mind just like going into that? Like, why do you feel that is?
I can see exactly why, that happens. I feel like a lot of the times people come to visit, um,
Mm-hmm.
most natives of Los Angeles live in the south side of LA,
Mm-hmm.
when people come to visit, they come straight to Hollywood,
Mm.
Sunset Boulevard, they think Melrose, they think West Hollywood, and it's all these high places, you know what I'm saying, that technically are like destination spots.
Yeah.
But along with visiting these destination spots, there's also a lot of other visitors visiting those destination spots. So I think a lot of the interactions that visitors have are with other visitors. But
Mm.
they don't really get like the LA experience. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's like if anyone tells you like, oh yeah, go to Pink's Hot Dogs on Bray Eight Fire, like probably in like the 60s. You know what I'm saying? But like
Yeah.
I think the whole, I hope I don't get canceled for this, but like, you know, Hollywood, it's the
Mm.
land of illusions. You know what I'm saying? This is where they make movies and all that stuff. And so I think that Hollywood gets a bad rap and it has a bad reputation of having a lot of like, fake activities going on. But usually the people that are creating these experiences ain't from the area. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And so I suggest if you come into LA, you come to visit LA, do your research before, like use TikTok for what it's for. You got a lot of people on there giving reviews on places to go. And I think there's a pocket for at this point, I have realized there's a pocket for just about anything here.
But that's what's so funny about like when I was out in LA with you, I felt like you were the TikTok because you knew every place because for real, like you knew every place to go. And I definitely think, with you being in the industry as a DJ and also as stylist, like you're at the intersection of so many different worlds.
Mhm.
Like, tell us about, basically how you got into that and how and like, your story, getting into DJing, getting into styling and, being from, Sacramento and getting into that world of LA. Like how was that journey?
Man, many moons ago.
Mm.
It man, I still look back now, and I mean, I just went home. I was just home like 2 days ago, and
Hmm.
wow, what an experience! It's like going back home with a fresh set of eyes, re-inspired, and because it's like you be away for so long that when you go back, it could either be a good thing or a bad thing. You can either
Yeah.
walk in and be like, oh, I'm here. Or you could walk in and I'm like, I'm here. And everyone's like, no one cares. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Yeah.
so I started, oh man, crazy. As long as I can remember. So just a little background. My family is from an island called Tonga in the South Pacific Islands. We're, Polynesian. Pacific Islanders, and my parents migrated here. I say in the like probably early 70s.
Mm,
And they landed in Utah, then moved over to the Bay Area, and then
mm.
settled in Sacramento. And that's where I was born in Sacramento, California. And so,
Sack Sound, what's up?
yeah, for real. At that point, the funny thing is, I'm watching Welcome to Derry, and I'm like, yo, this kind of little small town vibes. I'm like, I'm getting a little bit of Welcome to Derry around here, but nah, Sac's cool. Sac, at that time in the '80s, I mean, I feel like it was the essential like family city. You know what I'm saying? Like when I think about Sac, my youngest memories are like going to Waterworld, like going to the mall. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people might not know who this is, but like we went to the mall to see Debbie Gibson. You know what I'm saying? She was like a huge pop star in the 80s who like, you know what I'm saying? Like we were at those mall tours. Like people weren't really tripping on going to the club. They would go to the mall on Saturdays because they knew that there was always going to be an artist that was going to perform.
Mm,
Radio station will put them on all the time.
wow.
So on top of that, real wholesome city, radio was cool, but we would always tune into the radio in San Francisco.
Mm,
So Sacktown Radio was cool. Don't get me wrong. They always had the local joints. They always had like the top 40. But the real music that inspired us growing up was from San Francisco. So we would have the fuzzy static because San Francisco is like 2 hours away. That's the city. I would consider us
mm,
the valley. The Bay Area is the city. Um,
mm.
and so that's where we kind of like we get a lot of our music from. So it was always a thing growing up. Like, all right, cool. You want the new fresh jams. Try to get that hanger, bend that hanger up, and try to put it on the antenna. Try to get that good sound.
And was this like college radio or just like San Francisco radio in general?
Just the radio in San Francisco. Like,
Wow.
I'll send you some OG links from radio stations like Wild 94.9, more 106 KMEL, because that was,
Yeah.
94.9 was more of like a dance station. KMEL was like purely hip hop. And I mean like Souls of Mischief, like
Mm.
Tribe, you know what I'm saying? Like hip hop for real. And so my love for
Was
music came from visiting there weekend.
mm,
My mom's sister lived there, so we would go down there. And as a kid, I would always just kind of pick up on music and, kind of found my love for like hip hop early on. My brother is actually a DJ as well,
mm.
and he pretty much started with CDs and you know what I'm saying, was just collecting. And so we always growing up, there wasn't much to do in Sacramento, but fun fact, the first Tower Record office was in Sacramento.
Oh wow.
So I believe Tower Records was like born in Sacktown. And so that's what we kind of did on the weekends too, right? We would go to Tower Records, Tower Books, Tower Videos, and just kind of soak up. And at this time, late 80s, early 90s, this is MTV generation, you know? So it's literally like I feel
TRL was going crazy.
when TRL wasn't here yet, it was more like,
What?
yeah, it was still like Yo MTV Raps, like, and then after that, Rap City came, but like years later.
Wow.
So you got to remember, this is like the late 80s, early 90s.
Wait, late 80s?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So for, a lot of y'all that don't know, I just turned 42. So
Happy
I was born
birthday.
in 80, thank you. I was born in 83. So
Wow.
I got to catch a lot of the 80s, and then the 90s is when I turned, when I'm like 12, 14, 15, 16. You know what I'm saying? So my teenage years were in the 90s.
But this is so dope because you were a part, you're like a real millennial. So like you saw the genesis, like you saw like basically everything cross over, the technology, the way
Yeah.
music was, the way media was, how
Yep.
everything went from, like three-dimensional media to digital. So it's
Yeah.
like, growing up, obviously this is like a thing. If you know you love Vanity and you
Oh
love
yeah.
Prince, and like, you're a big
Yeah.
fan of that. Like, how much of a role did like 3D media, like records and stuff like that, play in your upbringing? And like, talk to us about that.
Everything. I mean, for the
Mm,
most part, I think one of my first records I got probably was, okay, this is gonna sound funny, but it was like I begged my parents for it. It was Salt and Pepper's "Do You Want Me," and it's like it's a
Mm,
real dope record, up tempo hip hop record. But like that's all we kind of knew, right? Records. But the thing is, I don't really feel like there was a lot of like I wasn't into vinyl at that time because
mm,
I was into tapes and CDs, and
yeah.
we were into recording stuff off the radio. So immediately it was like cassette tapes and CDs. So if I
Mm-hmm.
say I collected my first vinyl, the crazy thing is I probably didn't collect my first vinyl until probably like no lie, like probably like late 90s. Like my
Wow.
first actual piece of vinyl,
Mm,
actually kept, and that's late for a music head.
wow. And is that
Remember,
when, yeah, go
my
ahead.
my background's in fashion and styling. So this
Mm.
whole DJ thing wasn't even like I wasn't even thinking about being a DJ. My brother was a
What?
no, I just love music.
So you was into fashion and styling before this?
Yes, that was my
Wow,
I'll tell you that
okay.
was my everything. But to me, it
Mm,
always went hand to hand because fashion and music, you can't really have one without the other.
you can't.
I'm
You
saying?
can't.
You need something to wear to look fly while you dancing, but you need
Mm-hmm.
something fly to listen to while you're getting ready. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
Exactly.
all and like just thinking of the runway show. Well, you can't the fashion and music, music is the soundtrack
Mm,
to the fashion show.
most definitely.
And it inspires people who just are designing these collections. They're listening to music, they're like, it's crazy because it's like one of my favorite collections, which is by is when John Galliano was with Dior in the 2000s. It was
Mm-hmm.
like spring, summer, and fall, winter. He literally explained that his collection was based off of the girls in R&B and hip hop.
Mm,
And I think the show actually opens up to Lost Ones by Lauryn Hill and then goes into Khalees, Caught Out There. And Foxy Brown was even like, he was like his poster girl. Like that's why she has her famous line, dark skin Christian Dior poster girl. Like, no, she wasn't just no, that wasn't a fantasy. That was reality for her. And there's clips,
wow.
of him dressing her in that collection. And he's just
Wow.
like praising her. And I'm like, yes, Black Queen, for sure. Don't forget. I'm like, you know,
Now,
like,
Now tell me this, like what was the scene like in Sacramento when you were coming up like in your 20s or well in your teens and stuff like that? Were y'all going to the Bay a lot like for like going out wise or was the raves popping? Because I know in the 90s the raves was off the chain.
I gotta
Like
send you a picture of my green wig. I used to be out the raves and I had a little green little I feel like it is like a little Oompa Loompa wig and it's like lime. Cause like okay, let's go back because like now you get me excited.
good, good.
So my family, we're LDS, we're Latter-day Saints, so
Okay.
Christian, household, and we have these dances, these like youth dances that are like, you know what I'm saying, something for the youth to do. Like we'll go, you know what I'm saying, like mingle with other youth members of our church. And so like I knew that my parents would let me go to those. They would let me go nowhere else, but they would let me go to those.
Mm,
So my homegirls in like and this is mind you, probably like leaving junior high school, entering my freshman year, like that summer, I had friends who were like, they're like, yo, we out. And I'm like, what is these candy bracelets? Like, what is all like, what are y'all like, what is this? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I want to know what's good. Like, why you got fairy wings? Like, it's just like, because remember, this is Sacramento. So, like,
yeah.
I mean, the minute you got a little eyeliner on, it's like, ooh, scandalous. You know what I'm saying? I'm
You
like,
give you like a red letter or something like that on you.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
definitely giving that. So they put me on and they was like, oh, we going to a rave. And I'm like, okay, cool. And I ain't stupid. Like I knew what techno and house was, but I didn't know the sub genres like happy hardcore and all these other rave,
Hard groove and stuff like that.
yeah, like
Yeah.
I didn't understand until one they took me to the warehouse and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm literally like, and the craziest thing is like I'm in there looking like big cosplay. I had like a neon green wig on with like a puffer. I feel like I had seen like an episode of like Sally with the club kids on there, and I'm like, okay, this is what it's giving. But I'm like, No, that's New York City club culture. Like that's New York City ravers, you know? California ravers, they had these dudes called oh man,
This is so cool.
I'm gonna get like literally canceled if I get this wrong. They were called um they were called the oh my gosh. All right. I'm gonna come back to this because I ain't gonna get this wrong. Y'all not about to be canceling me because I'm a club hoe. I know I'm a club hoe. Y'all can't tell me I ain't no club hoe. Um, they were called anyways.
We gonna come back to it. We gonna come back to it.
The raves would be clicked up. You would
Yeah.
have like a predominantly like group of Latin guys, hair slicked back, um, white tank, suspenders, like it almost gave me like a very like you remember that show Happy Days?
Oh, like the Fonz. They was on the
Yes.
Fonz type of shit.
They will
Okay.
all come dressed like that.
Like the greaser type of look.
Totally. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Then you would have like, like I know my homegirls who was coming were like pixie dust, angel wings, you know what I'm saying? And then you had like your skater types and like the Jinko jeans and the mushroom beanies and you know what I'm saying? Like decked out. So everyone kind of had a little crew, and it was kind of like
Mm.
I guess people had found their people. And then here I
Mm.
go with my crush on you, Little Kim hip hop wig, and I'm like, you know. But my reference to rave culture has always been like Delight. Like I've always loved Delight. Lady Miss Kira is like queen of
She's
the
the GOAT.
yeah.
She doesn't get mentioned enough for her like
You
influence
know
on
the thing
fashion, I
too?
feel like.
Oh man, I mean, she's been a muse too.
She
She is the muse. You know what I'm saying?
she
Like,
is.
and so I really, 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 really respect a lot of those creative giants who like kicked in the door for us, but yeah, so back then rave culture, it was crazy. I mean, I still feel like I have a couple of rave. I keep everything. I'm a nostalgia junkie. I'm pretty sure I have some of the rave flyers. There would be these flyers that you would go to like we had an all age club. It was called the Alpha Zone. It was crazy. Like
Alpha Zone?
14 to 18.
Wow.
And probably even 17, because I feel like no, they probably had some 18 years. Let me stop trying to make the 90s sound real clean. I was like, nah, it was some children there all the way up until like 18 years old. But like, yeah, it was like a juice bar, but they would have like popping DJs come in there and play. And the kids would just be in there going wild. And I just remember if you went to Alpha Zone and you were still in like junior high school or high school, like you was the talk of the school the next day. Cause they'd be like, oh my gosh, so and so went to Alpha Zone. And it was like, who's she there with? Who is he there with? You know what I'm saying? It was like, I don't know. But then the crazy thing is on the flip side of like rave culture, Sacramento's heavily, heavily built on the B's and C's. You know what I'm saying? Like gang culture.
Really?
Oh man, like gang culture is very prevalent. You know what I'm saying? It's a part of the fabric of Sacramento.
Mm.
I feel like a lot of people who moved to Sac, came from Southern California, migrated up. You know what I'm saying? Brought the culture in. And then you got a lot of people who came from the Bay Area, brought the culture in. And so, obviously, as time progresses, you know what I'm saying? And, it just kind of like gets it starts getting a little dangerous. So, it's like on one side, it's like Club World. On the other side, it's like, it's a little hyphy. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's just like a melting pot of a lot of like culture. You know what I'm saying?
Awesome.
And so, yeah, it was crazy because we had Alpha Zone on one part of town, which was like the all age club for us growing up that played like house and techno and all that stuff. And then we had a club on the other side of the city where I'm from, the South area called the City. And that was the hip hop all age club. So when
Mm.
you went in there, you were seeing people on the floor doing the crybaby, the butterfly, like the percolate. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just totally two different worlds. And I literally
Wow.
lived in both. Because I was
Mm.
from the South area. So I knew I know all my little partners from the hood. But I also went to school with a bunch of other people that I latched to because I was like, you're so dope. You're so different, And they would literally take me with them into their world. And so I guess lots of cross-pollination going
So
on.
you were like a chameleon,
Oh
you
yeah,
know?
I feel like I
You
had to be, you know,
mm,
coming into my senior year. Coming into my teen years, I knew I had to kind of like be adaptable because I'm gonna be honest, for a long time, I didn't even feel like I fit into my own community, you know? In the Polynesian
mm,
community, there's a certain way things are done. You know what I'm saying? There's a
mm,
certain role that you play as a young man in your family and in the culture. And I just didn't really take to those roles naturally, you know. I was
mm,
definitely taught by my parents, all right, cool, this is what you so I knew, but I gravitated towards the lights. You know what I'm saying? And like,
mm-hmm.
you know, and the funny thing is I feel like as I got into my older teen years, my parents were just like, just just come home at night. Like, do you? Because
Mm.
they, you know, you walk into my room, posters of Aaliyah, Little Kim, no doubt. You know what I'm saying? You can't. I'm literally submerged in like pop culture. You know, at this point, and so
This is so
imagine
cool.
imagine being an immigrant parent walking into your kid's room and you're like, this looks crazy.
Mm,
Turn the bass
mm,
down. I'm not sure why you feel like you could be up in here bumping. Like, first of all, let's turn that music down.
mm-hmm.
Craziness. So yeah, I feel like, you know, Sacramento is like, oh man. I mean, I think it was a great place for me to grow up. It was probably the perfect place for me to grow up. Wasn't too fast, wasn't too slow, you know?
Mm. It was like the perfect pace. Now, talk to us about like when you started getting into fashion. Like that was definitely like the synthesis with that was like during that time when you started getting exposed to rave culture and
Yeah.
stuff. Like was that around that time and you like, damn, I actually like this, or was it,
You know the
like
crazy
throughout your
thing,
childhood?
yeah, obviously MTV generation, you know, we're watching
Hmm.
videos from, you know, great artists like TLC and
Hmm.
you know, like just so many great people that like were so creative. And I feel like I was like, wow, I want to look like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to dress like that. Like, you know, just the natural interest and gravitation that I think a lot of teens make when they find their favorite musicians and their favorite
Hmm.
artists. Um, I didn't know how that was going to happen because we were, you know, a very you get what you need, not what you want. You know what I'm saying? Household. So we gonna make sure you have clothes. It might not be the clothes you want, but you better make it work.
Mm.
So I kind of just didn't know how that was gonna happen until in high school I ran into like, you know, a group of friends and they were dancers. They had like their own dance team and stuff like that. And I remember like one of the flyest girls in school, her name was Monte. And I'm friends with this girl to this day. But I was like, you are so fly. Like, talk about the years like 97, 98, right? She and like, I would picture like, I feel like if I could remember her outfits like identically, like she wore Air Max 95s, neon green, like a
Hmm.
pair of like charcoal gray, like tights, and like a neon green and black like Gap anorak that kind of like matched the Air Force. I mean the Air Maxes, and then she'd have her hair like up in this like high ponytail that like flipped out with the swoop ponytail, and it wasn't just regular. It was like black faded into red. So I'm like, you too cold.
Yo.
And then the next day she'll probably come back. I remember this fit: white bucket hat, black maxi dress, right? With the white piping on the dress, the two slits up the side with the big Spice Girl sneakers. Like, I wish I still had all my high pictures from high school because I'm like, yo, this girl is so fire. You know what I'm saying? And then come to find out, she was good friends with these other kids from another school part of town. His name was Curtis, which now he lives here in LA and owns a salon called the It Girl Hair Salon. And his name is Curtis. On Instagram, it's like I think it's Kurt Cobain. Kurt got style, you know what I'm saying? So like
Mm.
he would dress his homegirls up, cut their clothes up. You know, like the shirt might have came with two sleeves, but then he like cut it off and tied the extra straps. It was like Destiny's Child and like Miss Tina before Destiny's Child. You know what I'm saying? So
Wow.
like I automatically saw that and I was like, oh, you don't have to buy this shit like that. You could make it yourself.
Mm.
And so that creativity of me seeing these kids doing it kind of was like, oh, you can do it too. So automatically, you know, I like just start cutting stuff up. as you're cutting, you start learning how garments are constructed.
Hmm.
My cousin taught me how to thread a sewing machine, and after that, it was done. Like I just started
Yo,
like reconstructing stuff, upcycling stuff, making things from scratch, and like just like literally like yeah, it was kind of crazy.
this is so cool, but also I'm trying to like verbalize all this imagery going in my head right now because I'm like picturing it right now. And one of the questions that I have is like, what was it like before social media when it came to just creativity and keeping track of all this stuff? Like, were you making albums? Were you making like archives of this stuff? And then like how were people like were people just looking at magazines and TV to get inspiration for looks? Because now it's very it's like synchronized. Like you see a look
Yeah.
on social media and it's like, okay, I'm gonna redo that. But like talk about how the research it took to create looks and bring them to life played into like your actual subculture and where you fit in back in those days. Do you see
It
like
literally magazines. Like, you know what I'm saying?
mm,
It wasn't on MT because remember, a lot of us didn't even have cable. And I
yeah.
was one of those that
Wow.
go to my uncle's house to record videos and then just watch them at home. We had a VCR, but we didn't have cable.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And so, you would really have to depend on magazines, like The Source, Right On, Word Up, Black Beat, YSB, all of these magazines that would have like these hip hop fashion editorials, and in those books they would make references too, right? They do like 70s black exploitation type what is it editorials. So that's how you kind of start seeing like, oh, okay, cool, like all right, fur, wide leg, bell bottom, you know what I'm saying? So it's like literally you're learning all these things. And I think that's why a lot of us from my age group retain or like still, we had to retain a lot.
Hmm.
I mean, you got to remember, no cell phones. We had to remember phone numbers. Like when I
Mm,
tell you, I used to know everybody's phone number. They'd be like, what's grandma's phone number? Oh, 395-9324, or like, what's this phone number? 555-687. You know what I'm saying? Like, we knew everyone's numbers by heart. And
mm,
so I feel like the research there came from music, booklets, albums, magazines, MTV, your cool ass cousin who lives on the East Coast who only came to visit twice a year. Listen, I have my cousin Moki, as kids, they moved Moki and Soso and like Tatiana side. They moved like to I want to say I feel like they ended up in like Boston or something. They was on the East Coast.
mhm.
They came down to Sacramento one time and turned me out. Do you not know? I used to have this little curly little hair. That was like, took me, got my first low cut Caesar. Like, it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
they was like, that what kind of shirt is that? Now we got to go get you a jersey. Like, it's like you got those cousins that just care about you enough to be like, let me give you some sauce because you looking like,
they put you on.
and it's great when you have cousins who have experiences from other sides of the world who can come and like put you on, right? So yeah, it was a lot of that. It's a lot of
Mm,
swapping of stories, but like, yeah, never were we ever able to just type some shit up and be like, oh, boom, it's right there, And the thing is,
mhm,
that's why it was so important because when we visualize things back then, you could visualize it, you could draw it, you would have to physically, pen and paper, let me bring this to life. As to where now you could log in. I mean, I'm actually using AI as a design tool now too, where it's like,
mhm,
oh, can you add this stitching and oh, can you make it leather? And it's like, as fun as it is,
mhm,
this last trip going home was a reminder of why I just need to be, all here,
mm,
here and here.
mm,
Because I was like, yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You got to exercise the mind. You got to exercise your fingers. Like, there's nothing these computers can do that, like, you know what I'm saying?
mhm,
Besides what they do, which is great for like retaining information and organization and things like that. But, it's like Prince said, like, be careful how you use the internet. Use the internet. Don't let the internet use you.
mhm,
And this is why I haven't posted in a year. I'm like, my
Mm,
Instagram is nothing but flyers because I'm like,
yeah.
you end up becoming like, like secret sauce until everyone finds out. And it's like, there's
Mm,
no like, unfortunately, because of social media, bro, like, there's just no more wow factor because we give it all away. Even like for a lot of the times, like for, a lot of times I'm just like, I get it. We all love a reference picture.
mhm,
But like if it's gonna be a reference picture, make it a reference picture. It's a reference. Don't copy
mm,
it.
yeah.
They already had their moment. You know what I'm saying? I've worked with so many different brands where they're like, oh, we'd love to redo this. And I'm like, that was their moment. No
Mm,
one's gonna know your name if you keep trying to take other people's moments and do them again. Because guess what?
yeah.
It ain't always gonna be as fab as the first time.
Yeah.
So
And
that's why it's like every time you see somebody try to redo an ad or a campaign, it's like you're gonna funnel your marketing dollars into the same shit you did in the 80s.
yeah.
That's not gonna work again.
It's like TV and films, like where they try to like do remakes or reboots instead of just
I did
going with
not
like,
need I didn't need Fuller
yeah.
House. Do you remember the show Full House?
Yeah.
Love Full House. The reboot where the daughters is older and like the kid, I was like, I love the actors and actresses in this, don't get me wrong, but I'm like, damn, like we could have came up with a new storyline for them. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Let's give them
Exactly.
something different. But what I do enjoy kind of is the darker, like, did you ever see the Sabrina the Teenage Witch?
Yeah. I used
Like,
to love that show.
I ain't gonna hold you. When they remade the darker version, it was just kind of like, oh, Sabrina really is like. I was like, and then started getting a little too evil for me. I was like, I can't watch this. It's getting too real. But yeah, I feel like you know what I'm saying. Like now, obviously, we're all retaining the same information because we all share the same internet.
Mm,
Um, so I do think it's important for a lot of creatives out there, especially music heads. Like, like I like to share music, but you don't have to share music either.
mm,
If you got your shit, tuck that. I'm all for that. Like, I'm all for
mm,
because there's certain songs that like if I know a certain DJ for playing a certain song, I won't play it. Because I
mm.
have just that much respect that I'm like, nah, this your shit right here. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? And I mean, there's nothing
Mm,
wrong with this. There's no right or wrong way to do it. But I just think when someone has a specific song that like kind of speaks to them and speaks to their soul, if you're playing it just to play it and get it off and be like, oh yeah, I did that, it's kind of like, did it really?
yeah.
Because like I'll tell you, for instance, I know we're going off subject, so we'll really back.
No, no, this is
If
perfect.
there's one song I will not play, and like I've gotten in arguments with promoters for not playing it. And that's Can We Talk by Tevin Campbell. I'm not playing it.
Mm,
It's an easy, like that's an easy get me up song.
mm,
Challenge yourself. There was a lot more singles that came out at that same era. Give the people something new. It's kind of like, and I'm guilty for this because I love Keisha Cole Love. You know what I'm saying? But it's like it's an easy go to at the end of a club and in a hip hop club. You like, oh, I'm gonna get them up with this one.
mm,
Put on something else. I dare you. Test yourself. You know what I'm saying? See if you really got the people by the neck. And
mm.
if not, if they don't get it now, they'll get it later.
Wow.
You know
So
what I'm
that
saying?
got that. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. No.
No, 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 you're fine. I was just
I was gonna say like because that ties in everything you're saying ties in directly with what I was gonna ask you about, how do you feel like, because now I notice a lot of DJs are just hungry for new music all the time. So there's a lot of crossover. There's a lot of people who are playing the same songs, and there's nothing really defining or unique about sets, I feel like, as much as it was in the past, because you used to know, okay, I'm gonna go see this DJ because they're gonna play this, they're gonna
yeah.
play that.
Everyone
Because
had
they
an identity.
exactly. And the same thing with fashion. Like people like what you wore spoke to the subculture you were a part of. It did
Yeah.
it. It wasn't just, oh, today I'm feeling, real like this, and
Oh,
then
you could tell the difference between a hip hop honey and a neo soul baddie. You know what I'm saying? Where it was like
yeah,
You knew the hip hop honey was gonna have the micro mini skirt on with the jersey, and you knew
Mm,
the neo soul goddess, you know what I'm saying, was gonna have the floor length jean skirt with the butterscotch knee high boot. You know what I'm saying? It's like
yeah,
everyone has like a tone. You know what I'm saying?
exactly,
Everyone
exactly.
has identity.
Mm-hmm.
Have real connections to how this feels. You know what I'm saying? It's like even when people discover somebody like Angie Stone, like, you know what I'm saying? When you see that thick, luscious, curly hair, you just knew, like, okay, that's her. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Like, and that
Rest in
spoke to her.
peace.
Yeah, rest in peace for sure. I'm
Rest in
like,
peace.
literally, like, you just knew for sure. You're like, I see big, luscious, curly hair. That just might be Angie.
Mm-hmm.
Bone straight, bust down. That's Tweet. You know what I'm saying? Like, everyone has like this, you know,
Essence.
you see the bangs with the longer side bangs, T-Boz. You know what I'm saying? Everyone
Mm-hmm.
has an identity, and I think now, back to your question, was like, or actually, what was your question? Because I think I cut you off. My bad.
No, no, no. That was perfect. Like the question kind of like was pertaining to music because it's also pertaining to fashion. Like I was just using that as an example because I feel like now everybody like that example you
Both on the
gave,
same track.
like on
Yeah,
Monday, somebody will dress like that, and on Tuesday they'll be dressing like T-Boz, and then on Wednesday, you know what I'm saying? Or
yeah,
it's
it's like a
just
whole, yeah.
it's not as this is my identity, this is what I gravitate towards. It's rather, okay, I'm trying to do all these
Like
because
what I'm
like,
trying to give today. But is
yeah,
who you are? You know what I'm saying? Is the question.
exactly.
I guess what you're saying is like, as far as like musical taste and selection,
Yeah,
how can DJs kind of differentiate each other from, I
yeah.
think it's all about really one focusing on what you want out of this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
What kind of DJ do you want to be? Because you have
mm-hmm,
your bedroom DJs who are fine just being in the crib, playing their shit. Then you have the club DJs who obviously, what I'm saying, are in the club and it's your job to keep the club going up, vibrations up. You
mm-hmm,
have your house DJs who literally are all about vibration. One heart, one sound, you know what I'm saying? And it's very much about equality in that room.
mm-hmm,
And then you have, like, you know what I'm saying? What I like to say is like your TikTok DJs who, you know what I'm saying? Like, and there's more DJs out there, but like
mm-hmm,
it's short form content, either doing mashups or blending things that, like, you know, um, people like to use as a wow factor, right? So I think
mm-hmm,
it's about identifying like what kind of DJ you're trying to be.
mm-hmm,
And then two, kind of like really understanding and doing homework and knowing what's in your area. Like
mm,
and kind of identifying there's people like, oh, okay, they're known for that, they're known for this. What are you going to be known for?
mm,
Kind of like identifying like what do you want to give to the people? And
yeah,
like standing 10 toes on giving them that. Because sometimes
mm,
we'll have an idea and be like, well, I'm about to do this, I'm about to do this. And then we get in a room and then you see it's not moving to people like you thought it was. And then you pivot and go back to like what's digestible for the people. You know what I'm saying? And to me, I feel like a lot of things can play into that. But
mm-hmm,
I think one is about identifying, you know what I'm saying, what you want to do and what you want to give and being brave enough to stand on your 10 toes and give it to them,
mm.
no matter what. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you'll get those eyes or like, me going back to Sacramento, like, I know they was probably like, is this person from Mars or something? Because like when I came back, I walked up in the club, let's just say LMFAO shots. I was like, all right, hey, great club song for a top 40 club. But I'm about to get on and y'all about to be hella mad. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm,
So like
yeah, yeah,
for the sake of being kind, I like eased my way in there. But you better
mm-hmm,
believe that like once I got in the pocket, I said, now we're going to Jersey. So let me go
mm,
ahead and just use this all as a segue to get into that higher BPM. But I'm
mm-hmm,
about to take y'all on a journey. So we went to Jersey. From Jersey, we went to Miami for some bass.
mm,
Miami bass. I mean, it was natural for me to go into some baile funk.
Mm,
Baile funk. I was in a good pocket with instruments, so I went in there and threw in a little reggaeton for them. You know what I'm saying? Like
mm,
after the reggaeton, I like literally like probably pivoted and got into some hyphy hip hop shit. Like I literally like in these clubs, if I could just spend house, soul, and disco all day, I would. You know what I'm saying?
mm.
That's all I want to do. But
Yeah.
I do have to pay bills, and so you know what I'm saying. Like, and not saying that house music don't pay bills, but unless you one of them ones
Mm-hmm.
in that position right now, it's a little hard. It's a little tough, you know. So we have
Yeah.
to pivot and do things sometimes that we don't like. But if you're gonna do it, at least be true to it. I'm not the biggest trap head,
Mm,
but I do my due diligence to listen to what's out. And the ones that do stand out to me, I'll be like, all right, I can get with that. I can
mm,
get with this. I'm not about to just play the hottest new trap record because you told me it's hot.
mm.
Listen to it. And then let me play it the way I want to play it. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? So like, if I play a say like a Sexy Red song or like an Anicia joint or something like that, I like to pivot and throw in like Diamond and Princess from Crime Mob. Like let me
Mm,
make it like let me cook it how I'm gonna cook it.
mm,
Right? You know what I'm saying? Because like the next person not gonna think to put these records together.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? So like I usually like to use a lot of the newer sample records to use those as bait tracks to get them on the dance floor. And I'm about to
mm,
give you the nasty original. You know what I'm saying? And like from there we can get deep, you know?
mm,
But yeah, for the most part, like, yeah, going back to Sacramento, I started off my set with like, okay, let me make this digestible. I know you guys haven't, I haven't been here for a long time. I don't know what's bubbling in Sacktown, but they got with it real fast.
mm,
And what by the middle of my set, I had to tell myself, I said, you're not the old Monte that used to live here 15 years ago.
mm.
You need to share your experiences and where you've been, and you need to share that with these people because some of these cats ain't left the city yet. So if you come
Wow.
here and you just, playing just to play for the crowd and I want to make all y'all happy and you just miss out on a great teaching tool and opportunity to reel them into some other shit that they probably never heard,
Mm,
you know? Because there's a lot of shit that I've discovered here that I definitely was not listening to living back in Sac.
wow.
You
Like
know,
what?
like honestly, like everything from like Massive Attack to like,
Mm.
you know what I'm saying? To like um who did my homegirl put me on to? Oh gosh, I'm really not trying to look at my phone because that is so like, you know what I'm saying? George Duke.
Oh, George. Oh, hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like there's just so
Yeah.
many records that I discovered here, by the way of like, my wonderful great, mentor. Um, and like just records that I'm like, oh shit, like coming to LA, the first time I never heard Bjork in the club.
Bjork?
Yeah, like not in the club
Yeah.
in Sacramento.
Yeah.
But I came here and I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And it's black and brown people in here going off. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't see it. I didn't grow
Mm.
up seeing that. You
What
know
do
what I'm
you
saying?
what do you feel like makes the club scene in LA special versus like, not to say better than any other city, not to say better than New York, but
Yeah.
like what makes it different? Because New York obviously is like one of the house
That's the
capitals. You know what I'm
New
saying?
York is
Like,
the pinnacle. Listen, let me tell you something. I'm not gonna argue.
yeah,
Personally, and I'll put my money on it. New York is the pinnacle of all things. Like, I'm sorry, that's just what it is. Like,
it
this the
is.
birthplace of hip hop. I mean, you can't. I will say one thing though, the West Coast will give you some nasty funk and some soul. You know what I'm saying? But like when I think of New York City, you know, I think of like like it's just a vibe. But
It is. It is.
I think what makes the LA club scene special is
Mm-hmm.
that there are a lot of people who are so interested and so invested. And I think sometimes, unfortunately, egos can get involved and it ruins a very nice thing.
Mm.
So I really feel like there's some cool little pockets out here. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like there's a pocket there, like there's a party called By the World that DJ Sequest curates, and it's like all up tempo, baile funk, um and like dance edits. And then I know you have like Sean Ross has a party called Stardust, which is like deep house. Mind you, he yells at me all the time. He's like, house. And I'm like, "Ugh, I got he wants to kill me. This his first we did our first Stardust party in New York during Fashion Week. I don't know what got into me, but I was playing a deep house record, and then I was just like, you know what'll be tight? I just did a little halftime and just put Nuck If You Buck in it. And like he was like, no, none of that shit. He literally was like, that when I tell you, I'm pretty sure he like lit some sage and like went to the DJ booth and was like, get this shit out of here. He's such a freaking like, yeah, he don't play when it comes to house music. So he has Stardust. And then uh like Brandon Anthony and myself, we do like the hip hop clubs on Friday. And I just think there's like so many different pockets. There's a new wave club around the corner from my house. Like
Mm.
I think that's Monday or Tuesday night, but I'm like B-52, let's go. You know what I'm saying? Like the kids are like, can you go home, grandpa? I'm like, oh, so like, and I love all of it. I love punk,
Mhm. Mm.
house, I love dancehall, I love reggae, I love it all. I don't think, I think the only thing I probably haven't, and I even lied about that because I do like some country. Like I love Loretta Lynn. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? Like,
Dolly Parton, of course.
yeah, yeah, you know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? I think if you're a music head, you love everything.
Yeah.
In a couple of my sets, I've thrown in some like Bollywood, like Indian tracks to me that are like, this shit fire. No, I played a warehouse party and threw in one of the tracks that like it just, I don't understand what it's saying, but I felt it. I felt the spirit of the song.
Mm.
And I'm gonna give you that record. It's called um damn, why am I so sorry right now? It's called Yekale Kale Ake. It's
Yeah,
cr
Kale Kale Ake.
it's a crazy record from the 80s. Like
Mm.
and it like has a freestyle undertone to it.
Mm.
Boom, boom, no, 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 boom, boom, boom. And I'm just like, what y'all was and then you
They
see the video and you're like, nah, y'all was with it.
Nah,
I
but
like to add all kinds of elements into my sets.
I think like what you're getting at, because I usually ask other DJs this question, like what's more important to you, breadth or depth? And I think for you, like just by what you're telling me, breadth is more important, than just like a certain just like have like channeling on one genre, because some people it works. Some people I think, if they're known as a techno DJ, if they're known as just strictly house, if they're known as strictly like disco or whatever, it works. But I think for a lot of DJs like who just love music like yourself and like me too, like, breadth is more important. Would you say like that defines your style?
I say so. There's so many different ways like to navigate. I think if you really study music,
Hmm.
and you just study the genres and you study the history and you learn about these things, you start to make certain correlations that you're just like, oh damn, you could actually weave into this.
Yeah.
Like, it's so crazy because it's like, and knowing originals, right? Because
Hmm.
I'll usually, if I'm playing Beyonce Blow,
Hmm.
that fits right into Rick James Glow.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? The boom, 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 boom. And she's saying blow, and he's like, glow, glow. You know what I'm saying? I'll use that record and I will use that Beyonce track because that's what the kids know. And
Mm.
I will splice that right up into that Rick James. And guess what? Once I got you into some Rick James, now we're going into Mary Jane Girls. And you're
Mm.
going Candyman. After Candyman, you probably gonna get D Train. You just don't know. Boom, 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 boom. Now you're all into this whole 80s, you know what I'm saying? Like funky, like synths, all that stuff. And then you're definitely getting some purple music. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Once you get into something like Erotic City, what comes
Mm.
next? You know
Computer
what I'm saying?
blue, something like that.
You can go
It
anywhere.
could be anything.
Let me tell you. I have this Peaches remix of Stilettos,
I love Peaches.
Crime Mob. It's Stilettos, but it's like a rock remix. And it starts out, we're rocking stilettos, ho. We're rocking stilettos, ho. We're rocking stilettos, ho. We're rock, boom, 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 na 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 na. Like it's a whole rock remix. And when I drop that shit in the club, people be like, "What the fuck is this?" But guess what? The girls who get it get it.
Mm,
And after that, you're getting "Smells Like Teen Spirit." You know what I'm saying? Because it's like
mm,
there's just so much music out here that like do not deprive the people because you want to look cool. You know what I'm saying? Do not deprive the people. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like sometimes there's just people like I ain't playing that bullshit, and I'm like because it don't speak to you, so you ain't gotta play it.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, be a music snob in your own world, but like
mm.
don't come over here to my world and try to like convince me not to do something when you know clearly I'm about to do that shit. Right? You know I'm about to do it. You know?
Yeah.
So I
You're
think
remind. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no, 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 you're totally fine.
No, I was saying you're reminding me of like something that Frankie Knuckles said where he was saying, I don't play for the crowd. I play for the crowd, not for other DJs.
Yeah.
And I think that's so important because I think DJs can like get into like an elitist mindset or get like real egotistical, like about, oh, I'm not playing this, I'm not gonna play that. But it's like, yo, put your own spin on it. Like you could do so much with it, and there's so many different records that you could blend together, to reflect your sound or whatever you're trying to give, but also, that maintain to the party spirit and make people want to have fun.
And there's a way to feed everybody, right? Because guess
Yeah.
what? When I get into Vanity Nasty Girl, you better
Hmm.
believe, I mean, what's the next record? I could literally pop Tinashe, you know what I'm saying, in there. You know, not only was you a nasty girl in the 80s, now you a nasty girl of 2025. And it's like you gotta build those where you know what I'm saying? Like bridge those gaps because
Mm.
that music back then is just as great as if I mean it's I'll say it's better, but you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I'm also biased because I'm like 100 years old, you know what I'm saying? So it's like
But it's so cool because you literally saw like the genesis. What do you feel like music back then had that music today that doesn't have as much, I'll say. Like I won't say it doesn't have it at all, but like doesn't have as much.
I think they probably had mm, because listen, I don't knock this generation. Some of them got some real like
Yeah.
that Leon Thomas album.
Psh, he went crazy.
Big. You know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like I know them records is out there. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I don't want to be like, oh, it was better then, and it's better now. It's like,
Yeah.
no, we have great music
And
for
yeah,
the climate that we're in right now.
mm-hmm.
I really would like to big up all the new artists and up and coming artists to please keep fighting for this shit because
Yeah.
it's yours. You know what I'm saying? This is your inheritance. You know what I'm saying? Like this is your
Mm.
so that's why it's like I don't like the backbiting of either. I don't like the
Mm-hmm.
OGs that be like, man, these little motherfuckers don't do nothing. And then I don't like the
Mm-hmm.
because you like, oh, you an old head, you don't know shit. Because the fact of the matter is, we've all poured into this soup, so you better fucking
Mm-hmm.
learn how to enjoy that shit. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? So like, what I will say is missing though, I think I don't want to say the word originality because I think there
Mm-hmm.
are people today who are being original to themselves. And just because it's the time, it like kind of I think what they're missing from back in the day is probably like, man, I don't know if it's I think it's there's something to me about live instruments.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? That just they're just, you know, everything today seems to be digital, which is not a problem. But that's why those records like, you know what I'm saying, like Stevie Wonder, like Star, you know what I'm saying? Like that's why those records like it's just you hear those live
Mm.
instruments and you just go I just go crazy over them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um yeah, I feel like it's I don't know cuz it could even be I don't know, I just feel like man, that's a tough one. I'm really stumped because without insulting the new generation, you know what I'm saying? It's like cuz I don't think they're terrible, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I just think back in the day there was a certain I don't know, it felt like to me what it felt like is it felt like a certain passion.
Mm,
It felt like a certain love, it felt like a certain emotion that was put into these records that clearly stood the test of time. And if these records today are made the same way, then they'll do that for the future too. But we don't know until we get there.
mm,
So that's why for people to be like shooting records down, that ain't gonna be a classic. Well, you don't know how the next generation is gonna receive it. This might just be their
mm.
classic.
That's so true.
I have to remember now when someone's like, "Hey, can you throw some throwback?"
Mm,
Automatically, I go back to my era where I'm like, "Okay, we're in 2025. Okay, cool. Let me play a little. Let me put on some OG, like But the throwback for the kids now, and throwback is not a bad word.
mm-hmm,
You know what I'm saying? It's more of like their classic now. Like my classic is Kim,
mm,
Foxy. The kids' classic today in the clubs that I'm playing in is Nicki.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? They grew up to that pocket. So I have to remember, oh, throw you're a throwback.
mm-hmm.
I'm my throwback. But guess
Now, now no Bahamadia. You put me on Bahamadia, by the
what?
way.
But guess what? In the right pocket, oh yeah, I'm going off.
Yeah,
Because man, Bahamadia.
Bahamadia.
An icon.
Icon.
That's what I'm saying. There's so much music out there that's like,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? There's a place for it all. And
Mm,
I encourage and I would love for DJs to just um enjoy it and
mm.
don't be afraid to experience it. I've only been DJing since 2018.
So how did you get your start in there? Like what was
Yeah.
what exactly happened?
Well,
Because
the funny thing
that's low
is
key recently.
because I'm your LA honorary club ho and I'm outside, and I say club ho as a joke because it's like I don't mind being outside. You know how I do. When you was out here, I'm about to pick you up. We out, we out, we out. I love going out. You know what I'm saying? Like I love to go out. I think it's great. Like I think I love to mingle with people. I think, you know what I'm saying? I'm not really out trying to do the whole like, oh yeah, I just need to be on the radar so somebody could pick me. It's like, no, I actually like to go out and like, what's up? You know what I'm saying? Like what y'all doing?
Mm-hmm.
What y'all I was going out so much that like I just kind of I kept hearing the same shit.
Mm,
It's like, damn, I wish I could hear this, or like, damn, it was
mm,
fire if they play this, or like, and I was just like, you know what? I have two really good friends who really helped usher me into this, and one of them is my good friend Hallie, DJ Ivy, and
mm,
my another one of my mentors is DJ Rashida, and
mm,
I would say, me and DJ Ivy we worked together. So, once I found out she was a DJ and she DJ'd like on vinyl, and she's mixing and scratching and she's doing all. I'm like, yo, like it just kind of like really opened my eyes to being like, damn, do you want to do this? Or maybe you could do this. Yeah, I kind of wanted to. I was a little
mm,
afraid to because I was afraid of the equipment. And I was just like, it was a little intimidating. Um, she brought me over one day to her house to just play with her decks. And she was literally just kind of like giving me, she was just like, okay, cool. Like this is the needle. This is, how you, kind of like trying to help me find my bearings. And then one day I was having a conversation with Rashida, and she was like, oh, you always want to make sure you drop in on the one. And I'm like, oh, what's the one? And then she taught me how to count off my beats.
mm,
So between the two of them, I would kind of juggle knowledge that they're both giving me. And because they're both over 20 years in the game, like I just
mm,
soaked up a lot of knowledge from them. And the crazy thing is, this was probably all like starting around like 2016, 2015, 2016. And for like a year or two, I would go with Ivy to one of her gigs and just stand there and just watch. I would go with Rashida to one of her gigs and just stand there and watch. And so I wasn't just sitting there wasting time. I would get content for them. I would shoot videos. I just wanted to be a really good mentee and help out however I could because I was like, if you have enough love to give me the knowledge and the skill set that is gonna help me create a career, the
mm.
least I could do is pay it forward and give you what I know, and I know
Yeah.
about the social media shit. I know about content. I know how important it is to you capture these moments so you have something to post later. And so after that, I was like, you know what? Here's what I'm gonna do. I know a bunch of cool DJs. I'm gonna just start throwing parties.
Mm.
So me and my homeboy Darion and another friend of mine at the time, we would just throw these like little parties at like the Sofitel Hotel. I ain't gonna hold you, they were kind of fab. I'm like, damn, I had no budget. I'm like, I don't even know how this is happening. But I was throwing these parties here in LA with my homeboy, and the goal was it was just music. You know, I just wanted great music. And so the DJs I were booking was just kind of like, I don't really have an outline for you, but just make it fun, make it hot. You know what I'm saying? Like, just there are no rules. And I think a lot of people enjoyed playing for me there because they were like, damn, I can play what I want. Do whatever you want. Just make it hot. So then I started to get the bug because I was seeing them rock these parties. And I started to get the bug and I was like, all right, cool. I think I'm gonna start trying to learn, you know? And so I would just sit at Ivy's house and just, she would be gone. She would leave. She'd leave me at her house and she'd just be like, just play with the records, figure it out. And I just started just slowly taking it all in. And she let me borrow her controller. And I was like, at the time I had partnered up with my homeboy Brandon, and he was already throwing events in West Hollywood for over like 6, 7 years at this point.
Wow.
So I was just like, damn, like, we partnered up on a party and we would hire DJs. And I'm like, we only had enough budget to pay the DJs for one set. So they would be the closing set. So I was
Mm.
like, well, I'll just be the opener for every night, every Friday, I'll be the opener. So for a whole like year or 2 years, I was just opening. I would play
Mm.
for nobody. Nobody comes to the club until like 11. And I played from 9 to 11.
Mm.
So by the time the second DJ came on, they got the whole wave of the whole club. And so one night I was just like, I think I'm ready to close, you know?
Mm.
And I closed and I'll never forget, ending the night that night. I was like, this is my first time closing. I'm gonna play. My last song is gonna be Aaliyah One in a Million. I
Mm.
played it in the club. The way that the kids responded was just like, oh yeah, this is sexy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm.
it's such a beautiful record. And like, my goal was I wanted because for anyone who knows about LA, West Hollywood doesn't really have the best reputation of great music. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, you got your pop jams, you got like the top 40 joints, you have your crazy edits, and it just kind of gives very much like, yeah. So my goal was my gift back to the community was like I wanted to bring soul and funk and something there that just wasn't there.
Mm.
So, what I'm saying, in my sets, what I'm saying, if I'm in my hip hop and R&B sets, I wanted to challenge myself. I'm like, all right, so everyone's playing Me and You by Cassie. Okay, I'm gonna play Long Way to Go. Or I'm gonna play
Mm.
just one night. Or like I'm gonna, that's how I challenge myself, right? It's like, everybody's like, okay, I'm gonna play Destiny's Child, Lose My Breath. I'm like, okay, well, let me play Apple Pie Mode. Like I wanted to kind of give those records that well, at least didn't live in the club when I was there. I
Mm.
wanted to see what it was like for them to live in the club now.
Mm.
So like I kind of just wanted to do
Mm.
something different. And then I started getting a lot of people like, yo, I never heard that song in the club ever. And I'm like, well, I mean, yeah, like that's what we
That's the
doing.
point.
I'm like, that's what we doing here.
Yeah.
Um, even like a lot of hip hop records, right? You know what I'm saying? There's just so many records out there. And like I really encourage people to really take that serious. Like use the internet. Don't let the internet use you. You know what I'm saying? Like the fact that everyone's catalog is on Spotify or Apple, there's no excuse why you can't go to one of these albums that you love and find a track that has not been, overused. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to say played out because, classic's a classic. But it's like there are songs out there that are literally waiting. They're
Waiting
waiting.
to have a new life.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
waiting to be played. Because the thing is like it's our job, right? And even like, and you know what I love doing?
What's that?
We got a lot of local talent in the community. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So like people will send me their records all the time. And I love when I see them in the club. Because guess what I do? Fit that
Mm.
right on in. And they're like, I've gotten people run up to me cry because they never thought they'd ever heard a record in a club. Like, I just love giving people that kind of
Mm,
hope because that's all we need, right? You know what I'm saying? All we need is just a little bit of hope, a little glimmer of hope to help you get through whatever the fuck it is you're going through because you put your heart, soul, and effort into this thing, right?
mm,
And then you go outside and society says it's a popularity contest.
mm.
And a lot of us ain't that popular. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I really believe in leading that way of, seeing people, showing them that they matter. You know what I'm saying? And I can't get to everybody, so I do apologize if I haven't gotten to some of the records. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, I be trying, y'all, but like, ooh,
It's a lot. It's a lot. But that
your
goes to
art.
my next question though.
Yeah.
Like you're real down to earth, man. Like and you
I have
like
to
the
fight
real
myself.
like
Because
like certain
vanity lives inside of me, right?
I know that. Yeah. I listen. When you called me that time and I saw Vanity Six, I hung up. I was like, wait, this I don't know who this is. And I called right back because I was like, because it popped up as Vanity. We gonna get to that by the way. But my thing is, it's like you're so down to earth in a city, like I said, that's known for being very superficial. And then on top of that, you work in an industry where you're around a lot of famous people, you're in the clubs, you know what I'm saying? You see, like both sides of everything. How do you maintain like that, like I want to say poise, but like that like mentality of just being so down to earth and approachable, like when it comes to other artists and just being in the scene like that.
God. I'm like, I really feel like it really is. It's God's love and the love of
Mm,
my Lord and Savior that keep me from like crashing out and doing too much. Because I no for real, because I got a nasty little mouth on me and I love to go off. But to me, um what is the criticism without a solution?
mm,
I like to be solution based. Even if something ain't really my style, I'd be like, that was hot. But what do you think about? You know what I'm saying? It's like I'll
yeah.
never just be like, man, that shit whacking. You whacking. What you do is whacking. It's too aggressive. That's not my style. You know what I'm saying? Like
Hmm.
I love to just like, cause to me, what I don't think is hot is probably about to be real. Like I could be wrong. So I never want to stick my foot in my mouth and just be like, that shit is whack. And then before you know it, you know what I'm saying? It's giving what's his name? Man, I ain't even gonna say it because I'm like, when somebody doesn't believe in somebody, then that person blows up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't never want to be like that. But I think
Hmm.
what keeps me humble is one, um, the gratitude that I have to even be a part of this.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? This was just a wish, a dream, a hope of mine as a kid that I would work in, that I would work in, and I don't even know if I could say industry. I think I do. Here's the thing. I work in the industry.
hmm.
I like to think I don't work in the industry.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? Because it's like they say, you could work industry in the industry, you ain't got to be of it. There's a lot
mm,
of stuff that goes on in this game that like a lot of people feel like they have to participate in order to do the work. And it's like, no, work is work. That other shit is that other shit. You know what I'm saying?
hmm.
So it's like the saying goes, fuck around and find out. So there's certain things I don't need to find out. You know what I'm saying? I'll
Hmm.
take your word for it. I'm like, I'm cool. But I think yeah, the humility for me comes from like just knowing how many people poured into me coming up and how many people continue to pour into me and the fact that I do not do this alone. Um I don't own it. You know what I'm saying? Like who am I to tell somebody they can't do something? I think we've all kind of had those moments where, like, say you DJ and your partner, the whole time you're learning, when your partners are just sitting there like, oh, that's dope. And then a year later, after they see you take off, they're like, I think I'm finna learn too. And it's like, bro, you've always wanted to learn. You should have just learned what I was learning. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if there's something you want to do in life, make it comfortable to where like it doesn't feel weird. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Because I don't think anyone's intentionally trying to take anyone's spot.
mm,
I just think sometimes when we find ourselves and we
mm,
start getting into these like industries, it looks
Mm.
easy to our peers, and so they want to do it too.
Yeah.
Guess what? Don't take offense to it because they're not going to do it like you, and you're not going to do it
Mm.
like them. So you can't be afraid to be eclipsed in this game because that's what it is. It's
Mm.
a game. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like as long as you believe you hot, you always gonna be hot. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't play by the rules of this game because I'm not
Mm.
playing no games.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like I know that sounds kind of cliche and it just sounds like, oh, I don't play games. No, I really don't. Like I'm not
Mm.
out here fighting and scrapping. You know, there's a lot of part. I'm gonna be honest. Big FOMO. There's a lot of times my feelings are like, damn, like I could have killed that. I wish they would have let me play, or I wish they would have let me do. Stop wishing and go do your own shit.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? I think sometimes we want to belong to these things that are already up and running, but we don't know all the bearings to it. That shit could be trash on the inside. You probably getting paid $100. You know what I'm saying? Like because we've all been there too, right? You DJ one of the biggest parties in the world and realize that you just DJed for a wristband, some drink, and if they make enough money at the door, we're gonna pay you. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Yeah.
you do anything when you're starting out.
Yeah.
DJed a party for 8 hours straight. The fuck? I look back at 8 hours now and I'm like, damn, I must have been real hungry to get into this game.
You
Cause
was
I
on
can't
some
even
marathon shit. That was a freaking marathon you did.
it was because I just love to do it. And I just didn't
Yeah.
understand that like you know what I'm saying? I would, you know, when you love something, you gonna do the shit for free
Yeah.
until you're like, wait, 8 hours, four hundred
Yeah.
dollars. Damn, that wasn't even $100 an hour. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. Yeah. And then you hearing other people like, and you talking to other people, they like, looking at you
yeah.
crazy, like,
And then your OGs are like, yeah, no, you know. So it's all you learn a lot, but I feel like like it's a constant battle because, like I said, I'm not perfect. I don't always feel, zen about a lot of things, but I do feel like shit. I want to get back what I put in.
mm,
So I would rather lead with kindness, an open mind, and like equality. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Than to go in hot. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it's just like the popular guy in high school. Unfortunately, we usually hear what happens to them later on in
Mm,
life, which to me is a setup, right? It's like they don't set you up. They'll put you on this pedestal. Like that's what these industries do sometimes. Is they'll put you on this pedestal and they'll big you up. And in the minute it's cold, they like, all right.
yeah.
So that's why I
Deuces.
think it's important to build your own community, build your own world that you live in and that you rule in. You know what I'm saying? Because can't nobody take that from you.
What was that like when you first came from Sacramento to LA? Did you already have a network or did that take, because it sounded like it took years to build that and like, you feel do
Funny
you
thing
yeah.
is my network came from the club world.
Mm,
Because the first thing I did out here was I went to work and after I like went to the club. Because I was just
mm,
like, I want to go out. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to see what this
yeah.
city's about. And before I knew it, I was just meeting everybody. And the thing is, before I got here, there was people that I kind of knew from the internet in passing. And everyone was like, when you get into town, hit me. I'm gonna let you assist me. I'm gonna let you do this. I'm gonna let you do that. Nobody picked up.
Mm,
Nobody picked up the phone. Everybody paid it. It was just kind of like I caught wind fast on like, oh yeah, nah, yeah, I just got played. You know what I'm saying?
damn.
And so what I would do is just like keep my headphones on and just go to work, mind my business, do my thing. And I feel like God would throw me little lifelines every now and then. Um, I was working at Forever 21, and you got to remember, I'm 29 at this time. I'm about to turn 30. The
Mm,
only job I could get was retail. And guess what? I wasn't even a manager. I was a greeter,
mm,
a whole
damn.
greeter with hella mesh bags, asking people if they finding everything okay. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Damn.
just my manager was like only half my age. You know what I'm saying? So it took a lot of humility for me to like do this job because I'm like, back home, I had managed like a staff of like 20.
Wow.
And I come here and I'm like, hi, welcome to Forever 21. You guys finding everything okay? And I'm usually getting looked at like, yeah. I'm like,
Mm.
okay, well, the smalls ain't at the bottom, so stop reaching for the bottom of that pile because I'm going to refold all that shit. You know what I'm saying? I made it fun though. You know what I'm saying? But after that, I knew nothing about Fairfax. I knew nothing
Mm.
about the Fairfax world. Like, I literally like was walking down the street one day, like I got off the bus and I was just walking down the street and I was like, oh, this looks like cool. And I was like, okay. I started seeing all the stores around like Supreme and all that stuff, and I was like, oh, this must be where all the cool kids is at.
Mm.
But I was like, I don't skate, so I can't work at Supreme. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I ain't no sneakerhead, so I couldn't work at Flight Club. I
Mm.
just was like, oh, this is very much pockets of like, these are cliques.
Yeah.
So then I walked by this store and I seen jewelry, and I said, oh, I love jewelry. Let me just go inside. And it was a store called Melody Asani on Fairfax, which
Mm.
was owned by designer Melody Asani. And at the time, she was designing jewelry and then had like a collaboration with Reebok. And I saw her stuff on Tumblr. I didn't know she had a store.
Mm.
So I actually ended up like applying. I got in as a customer service agent, which is hilarious because I did all the phones and shipping and all that stuff. And so I was doing customer service. And then I think she kind of like started just kind of see my posts on Instagram. And she was like, nah, love you in customer service, but we're going to kick open this Instagram and you're going to do creative stuff.
Mm.
So she literally like, she handed me a camera and was like, you're going to shoot content of the product for Instagram. And before I knew it, like that content turned into like a campaign.
Mm.
I shot a lot of photos for like her Reebok collaborations. I was, given the opportunity to shoot a campaign for her Jordan collaboration. And then the crazy thing is even just the contacts that I received in that store because it was such a destination spot. Um, a friend of hers was looking for a stylist, and the first styling job I received in LA was for Tinashe for the song Two On. And
Wow.
that's probably got to be saved for another story because that was, oh my gosh, she was great. I was underprepared.
Mm.
As a stylist coming to style a whole music video in Los Angeles, I came with my little rack with my little five things. And like, I know they was just like not trying to go crazy, but they were like, okay, two, we're gonna, we were able to get off like two or three looks, and they were like, "We're gonna pay you for the day." And yeah. And I called my homegirl, and I was just crying. I'm like, "I just got this opportunity, and I think I just ruined it." And she was like, "Take the check. There'll be more. Just get your money. Get your money." And I was like, "Okay, I'll get my money." I was so green, I didn't even know how to invoice. So I'm thinking they're gonna give me cash on the spot. They're like, yeah, just go ahead and invoice us at such and such. And I'm like, what's an invoice? Like, like, I was like, what is that? How are they gonna give me my money if they don't even know my bank account? Yeah, idiot. Go and fill out the form and put all the information on there and send them an invoice. I was so green. But years later, she collaborated with Miss Lauryn Hill on I think it was like the 20th anniversary, and I actually got to make samples for Miss Lauryn Hill that she used for her tour merch. So it's
Wow.
like it's
Full
really one of
circle.
yeah, and it's one of those things where it's like if you want to be somewhere, you kind of just got to go where it's at. You know what I'm saying? And you got to just really like, without without groveling and begging for it, you got to just jump in and do the work. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Like there's ways to work with dignity, you know what I'm saying? And to really just like do your thing
Mm.
and not be afraid to be like, no, I can't do that, or I can't do this, I can't do that, because it's like sometimes a lot of people compromise what they're comfortable with just to get into a situation, and then we find out that the situation wasn't even worth it.
Yeah. It's not all it's hyped
So
up to be.
yeah, so pretty much
Mm.
my footing in LA, I feel like I got working on Fairfax, working for
Mm.
Melody Asani brand, and like put me in front of everybody. Like
Mm.
there was so many people came in there. Like I actually was able to take a photo. We had a wall with like wings on the wall, these neon
Mm.
wings that we would have everyone take photos in front of. And I actually took a picture of Nipsey Hussle like in front of those wings, you know?
Mm,
I shot Keisha Cole in front of those wings. Like just so much shit that I'm just like, coming as a little sack kid, I never thought like I would, be in these spaces, and then it just became normal.
mm,
And that's when I kind of learned, oh, just do you. You know what I'm saying? Like all this shit's gonna come. There's no there's this clip of Aaliyah who when they're like, oh, what's the formula? And she's like, there is no formula in this business. You do something and you
mm,
do it. Either people receive it or they don't receive it, but there's no formula. And I'm like, I love that because there
mm.
really ain't no formula. You got to just do things from the heart and bank on that being it.
Uh, it's kind of like I'm thinking of it as, I had this professor and he said like whenever you fill out an exam or you do an exam, like don't worry about it afterwards. Like you did everything, you tested,
Yeah.
you studied, you did your thing, but he was like never like once you finish, never stress about it after
Leave
you
it
leave,
there. Leave
you
it there.
know?
And that's just like our DJ sets, right?
Hmm.
Some nights we on, some nights we off. But if you
Yeah.
obsess over the nights that you was off, you're never gonna grow. You're just gonna be thinking about that night. Damn, I wish I could have did that night over. I wish I could have did this. Or I wish I so and so was in the crowd. They're gonna be there again.
Mm,
I'm saying like they gonna be there again. You know what I'm saying? And like
mm,
I think it's there's an artist that I worked with that pretty much gave me great advice, and she told me this is the do it again business. Great.
mm,
Can you do it again?
mm.
Can you do it again? Can you do it
Mm.
again? And it's so crazy because I'm like, damn,
That's
that's true.
real.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's important that when you pick up, you know, a craft like DJing, it's like you better be willing to do this shit for free. You better be willing to do this shit like, you know what I'm saying? Like when you're not getting paid big bucks. Um, because those opportunities are gonna come, but it's like nothing in life is you gotta put some shit in. You're not about to just come and just skip the line. The universe not even gonna let you do that. And if you do, it's just like the saying goes, easy come, easy go.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm like, I feel like I took, when people are like, do you feel like you took the slower route in life? And I'm like, no, I think I took the right route.
mm,
It was just my speed. We ain't
mm,
on nobody else's time. We ain't on
mm.
nobody else's time.
I
You
love
on your
that.
own time. You know what I'm saying? And that's why when you arrive, you arrive. The crazy thing is a lot of us are already here. Like you've already arrived. Like you're
Mm,
phenomenal at what you do. It's just the rest of the world has to catch up with you.
mm,
But the industry likes to make us think the other way around, right?
mm,
That we need to keep up with what's going on in the world. Well, if I keep up with what's going on in the world, all I'm doing is contributing to a gumbo that's already created.
mm,
As to where if I just do it my way on my time and do my shit, y'all have to catch up with me. And then you get to sample what I'm doing.
mm.
I'm not trying to drink what you're doing. You need to come take my juice. I don't want your juice. Does that make sense?
That makes a lot of sense. But that also I feel like ties into being like one on one and what we talked about earlier in this conversation about identity and how it ties into the way you dress and what you play as a
Your
DJ.
lifestyle. This is your life.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? And you can make it anything you want to make it, but if you're gonna make it something, make it real.
Mm,
Saying like live it. You know what I'm saying? Like do the research, like try. You know what I'm saying? I think you should also like be mindful of who you call your mentors. Some people don't
mm.
deserve to be a mentor.
Nah,
You know
that's
what
a
I'm saying?
fact. I've
Some
learned that
people,
the hard way several times.
unfortunately,
Yeah.
some mentors will see your talent and they'll literally withhold opportunities because they're like, nah,
Mm,
you need to work harder for this.
mm. Or you need to go through what I went through in
And
order to
and
achieve.
and
Yeah.
and the fact is that no one's pattern of success is the same. So why
Mm-hmm.
would you even subject me to that bullshit? Just say you a
Mm,
hater and let's keep it a bean. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't want to see nobody else win. I hate when people don't want to see other people around. Like that shit is so stupid. Like I've purposely started to make sure, like I told my friend all the time, like we have this warehouse party that my homeboy kid does called sex tapes. Amazing party.
Mm,
I have so much fun. It's my favorite party to DJ at. Normally, it's just me and him.
mm,
He brought in DJ Honey as a guest DJ. The ego for me would be if I was like, oh, well, I'm still closing.
mm,
No, Honey's gonna close. She's the guest. You got to be okay with being a phenomenal DJ and not afraid to open for anybody. You ain't
mm,
too good to open. You ain't too good to go in the middle.
mm,
Motherfuckers always want to be in the last. Like you
mm,
just gonna play that shit. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what your counterpart has up their arsenal. Has up
mm,
their sleeve. So you got to be able to cook with other people and be and share, you know?
mm,
Even to this day on my Friday club, like most of the month I open. I don't close.
mm.
And a lot of people are like, you did you go on already? You should have been here. I was on from 9 to 11. Damn. 9 to 11. You know what I'm saying? I really want to like, and like I said, I'm not perfect. I don't get it right every time,
Mhm,
but I want to do this DJ shit with no ego, with no,
mm,
malice. Like, I just want to be like on some regular shit and just have fun.
mm.
That's it. You know
Let
what I'm saying?
me let me ask you this because I know you're busy, but this is
No,
gonna
no,
be
you
like
good.
my second. This okay. So I'm gonna ask you this about, what do you feel like makes your party unique, especially like, you know, in the scene you are in LA, um, in like a black and brown space. I feel like you cater to, queer black and brown folks.
Yeah.
What do you feel like makes, sex tape so special, like considering all the other parties going on in LA and,
Yeah.
stuff going on?
I think the mission of Kid and myself and even the whole team that works on this project is to
Mm-hmm.
just create and hold space for everybody. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Like everybody. We don't care who it is. Like,
Mm-hmm.
we don't care about the celebrity status or who it is you might work for. Like, you know what I'm saying? The funny thing is we purposely be like, ain't no guest list.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? If Willie and Nilly had to pay 40, well, you finna pay 40 too. And you should actually be paying 40 because you work for a celebrity. So I know you got the coin, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then not only that, but this all goes into the production of the party, the sound system, the decoration, the decor, paying the staff. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, people always just want to come and have a good time for free. Like, no. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's even like ballroom. I ain't gonna hold you, this is gonna be controversial, but I'm just like, ballroom is so expensive now.
Mm.
You gotta pay $50 to get to a ball. Wasn't these balls created for the community to come out and enjoy themselves? What the, you know what I'm saying? But like, wasn't these free? Wasn't these because these them white folks uptown wouldn't let us participate in their function? Like, what happened to that? What happened to the free entry with the testing? Like, you know what I'm saying? But like, um, it all goes into the production, right?
Mm.
And so unfortunately, the underground club scene that we have come to know and love has evolved into a business. And I still think that underground still lives and it always will.
Mm.
But there's an authenticity that has to accompany it.
Mm.
There is, yeah, it just has to be authentic. I
Mm.
say authentic, it has to be curated by people who care and
Mm.
curated by people who don't look at race, color, age, uh, financial standing. It's
Yeah.
about the music.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And so I think that's what makes sex tape special is that that was clear from the gate that that was the mission, right?
Mm.
Music. It was going to be all about the music. And this is why I love, like, everyone knows wherever I'm DJing at, I'm always like, turn the lights off. I don't want to see you. I don't want you to even see me. This is not about me
I
because I'm
was just
having a good time.
I was just at a party this weekend. It was my first time going out in a minute, and I got invited out, and it was in like a garage, and they couldn't turn off the lights, and like everybody outside kept saying because they had some cool like art going like on the walls, like
Yeah.
visual arts and shit, but and like they would dim the lights were dimmed and like almost to like dark, but they couldn't find a way to turn them off, and the girl outside was saying this would be so much better if the lights were off. And I was like, yeah, with like a red strobe just going through or a blue
Just one,
strobe or
yeah.
something, you
But I'm
know?
telling you, like, I can't, like, with well-lit buildings, it just gives, okay, well, just pull out the Twister mat and let's just play Twister. But
Yeah.
at this point, like, I feel like a lot of people who come out with the notion of wanting an experience and they want to dance and have fun, right?
Yeah.
Then they get there and I could physically see you, you could physically see me. I ain't about to be in there dancing all like how, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
that takes away from dancing like no one's watching. You know what I'm saying? It's like you can't even
Yeah.
catch the vibe because it's like, so that's why ambiance is important. You know what I'm saying? For an event or for a party. But like, I love to just turn the lights off and fill the room up with smoke and let people feel it.
Mm.
And so like I think
Yeah.
that's what really makes sex tapes great is that,
Hmm.
it's underground, it's, for us, by us,
Mm.
and it's about the music and it's about also like, protecting the space and protecting the culture. You know what I'm saying? Like, and when I say that, it's not saying not letting nobody else in, but it's just like treating it with care, actually working on a new set,
Mm.
giving them something new, like sometimes I know we can get complacent and be like, oh, let me just run this set back.
Yeah.
How lazy. Especially now.
Yeah.
You can't click space bar and sample this track. You just gonna go with your regular old set, huh? So like that's why it's like I appreciate that you do vinyl and you're able to switch it and switch it up.
I be trying because it's like I was so long away from the vinyl for a minute, like because
Yeah.
I did a vinyl residency in the city, and then I took a break, because of everything I was dealing with, and now I'm doing my thing again. But I got so comfortable using my controller or using
Yeah.
my USB or going to a spot and whatever they had, I used that like it was like, do I still got it? So that's why I did that last mix vinyl, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I could like because I
It's
love
always,
vinyl.
yeah, we're all a practice. We're all always practicing. Even myself.
Yeah.
I learned with Serato vinyl, but I didn't learn like on actual records. So, DJing with your ear and DJing with your eyes is two different things. When
They
I started
really are.
DJing, it was the eye trying to catch the grooves when it should have been
Mm,
the ear. So that's why like my mentor always tells me like, you know what I'm saying? Like we gotta kind of you gotta be careful because you don't want to get too caught up in one side. And you know what I'm saying? And then you lose. It's like what, you use it or lose it, right?
yeah.
And I just started DJing on sticks. Like I did my first set on sticks probably like a couple of months ago.
What?
I'm terrified.
What? I'm like really surprised right now.
My
That's
homeboy had
crazy.
to show me how to download Record Box
No way.
and then like the conversion app, all that stuff. I just
What?
I've been DJing on my laptop for the longest.
Oh, snap. What was
Yep.
it? What was it like?
And
Like, do you feel like, you know what I'm saying? Like
I
it
love it.
wasn't as hard as you thought it was with
Well,
the
because the
sticks?
thing is like I know there's just a specific way you burn your stick in order to keep the loops.
Yeah.
When he showed me how to do it to keep the loops, I was like, "Oh, I'm good."
Yeah.
Before, when they didn't have the loops, I'm like, like I don't know what to do, and I'm like, and then it's all about too understanding like what your mixer does, right? Because you're either
Yeah.
like a S9, S11, a 900, or is it like an A10? I don't know what's that one with all the damn channels on it. That one,
DJM like
it's
I
like a
forget,
whole,
the
it's
name of
like
it.
probably 10 channels on there, and I'm like, okay, so it looks the same, but I'm like, does it all do the same shit? So I'm like,
Yeah.
but I'm challenging myself to make sure that I am, able to just walk into a spot. If someone wants to go back to back, it's like, okay, cool, I can jump in.
Mm-hmm.
I was so hindered because I'd be like, oh, can I plug in my HID? Can I just, and it's like
Yeah.
in the middle of a DJ set, that's a lot.
Yeah. For
So
real.
DJing on sticks, doing house and house music and club, and like more like 120 BPM and up is like a breeze. What I'm gonna challenge
Mm.
myself now to is I want to actually DJ my hip hop sets off of sticks too,
Mm.
which I heard is not as easy to navigate. But I'm also like, I feel like as long as my crates are in order and my stuff, like I feel like I could. get busy.
I think you would definitely do that.
I think I want to
But
try this Friday.
yeah, I think you could definitely do that. I'm excited, man. I wish I was in LA right now. Damn it. I wish
Yeah,
I
nah,
could.
but
I wish,
listen, when you come down, you always got a little, you always have a home wherever I'm playing at. So,
most definitely. Most
and I'm gonna
definitely.
be out there more often. I literally already there's a promoter I connected with named Gabrielle who throws a party called Raw Honey.
Raw honey in New York?
Yeah, in New York. And
Okay.
so I'm DJing her New Year's Eve party here called Baby Boy at the
Mm.
Queso Lounge for New Year's in LA. And so that'll be our first time working together. So I was like, you know what, this is gonna be my audition. I said,
Let me know next time you spend it in the city because I know it's Fashion Week next time. I'll make that drive. Like I know I'm in VA, but I'll make that drive, man.
nah, it'll be great. I feel like it'll be good just to come outside and just see what's up. You know what I'm saying?
Most definitely. Because I've never been to one of your parties. Because when I was out there, we was
Mhm.
like going to bars. We was, you know what I'm saying, going to like, events and stuff like that. But like it wasn't like, now you
Yeah.
got the city on lock. Now you got the city on lock
Oh
and
my
shit. You
gosh.
know what I'm
I'm
saying?
telling you.
So
I'm just like, yo, I'm just here to have fun.
most
Are
definitely.
you DJing out there in VA too?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I'm
How's
DJing
your
again on the 27th. It's a little different, It's
yeah,
I feel like out here, especially in Richmond, the scene is definitely more artsy. It's
yeah,
more how can I say this? Like it's a lot more DIY.
yeah,
Very DIY.
yeah,
Um, and it's kind of different than like in the city of New York, because like in New York is everything. We already talked about that. Like it's a little DIY, it's industry standard and stuff like that. But I think what I had to realize, and I think this is something that I feel like not a lot of people do. I feel like I had to be honest about what I want from DJing.
yeah,
And now that I'm at that place, it's like, okay, now I know what I want. Now I'm doing it. Now I'm applying. So like this whole conversation was kind of like basically like a mirror almost, because this is like stuff I've gotten to recently. Because before I was like, you know what, I just want to DJ just because I love the music, and I do. But I also want to DJ because I want people to feel the music, and I want to give it to them in a certain like ambiance, and I want to give it to them in a club. I want to give it to
yeah.
them, I don't want to just give it to them like, oh, here I'm throwing an event, come
Yeah, no,
through.
but here's the thing. I
Like,
feel like, with that experience that you're wanting to like provide for your people, a great
yeah,
way to do it right now is just through your mixes that you're uploading, right?
mm,
And creating that like online presence with your people and like this, like being able to interview, you know what I'm saying, your homies and your peers and stuff like that.
yeah,
Like, obviously it's like a good way for those who are interested in the conversation to just
mm-hmm.
tap in and kind of see what you're about, and like I'm really proud of you. Like, from
I
our
appreciate it.
last visit here, I know so much has happened in life to where it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a blessing for you to be in this space now where you're like,
Yeah.
I am doing my thing. You know what I'm
Talk about green.
right? You know what I'm saying?
Talk
So that's
about
why
wet
I'm just
behind the
like,
ears.
no, it's all good, but that's why I'm like, it
Yeah,
ain't too late to start over. You know what I'm saying? Like,
most
I
definitely.
think a lot of people think time, and this is why I love people like Prince and Mariah and other people who are just like, time is just a construct. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Mm,
yeah, we all got the same 24 hours, but it's like if you only limiting yourself to 24 hours, well, I guess you only got 24 hours then.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? And although we don't have
that's
all the time in
real.
the world, like the saying goes, get ready so you ain't got to be ready.
Mm,
So, I think that's my only thing is like I've been trying to practice is just being organized and being ready.
mm,
Um, because time is important. And sometimes a lot of times as DJs, when we show up to these gigs 5 minutes late, we're like an hour late.
mm.
You know what I'm saying? Because you gotta set up,
Yeah,
I
for
warm up.
real.
You know what I'm saying? Like if we want to get the big bucks, we want to get treated like professionals, we gotta show up like professionals.
Hell yeah.
It's like they say when you show up on time, you late already.
Mm-hmm.
That's all
Early's
I'm like.
on time is late.
Yeah, and I feel like, when you young, you like, "Man, shut up." But like when you get older, you like, oh nah, this is what people get paid good money for.
Mm-hmm.
Punctuality, professionalism. You know what I'm saying? Like relatability, like are you a team player? All these things that go into like, you know what I'm saying, they're people skills.
Mm.
They're life skills.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, and being able to navigate these hard, we get those moments. Like this girl must have held her phone up to me for like she was there for an hour. I didn't even look. I was like, because I'm like, you're not about to do me like that. The request, and
She held
sometimes
it
I
up for
just
an hour. It's
kept
crazy.
came back, like, and then kept coming back. Like she probably on and off for an hour. I was just like, I had to ignore her because I was like, if I don't ignore you, I'm gonna throw this USB cord at your ass. Lucky I- You lucky I need it.
You
Um,
go catch this stick, all right.
no, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a case over
Yup.
a thumb drive. Um, but like sometimes I'll just smile and nod and be like, okay, sure, yeah, I'm gonna play Ricky Martin right now. Like, yeah, right now. You know what I'm saying? It's like your request is not my urgency. It's not urgent
Mm.
to me. Like sometimes though, a request will come and I'll be like, I got you because that is a fire song I forgot about. Thank you.
Mm.
But a lot of the times it'd be like,
It be.
do you have Willy Nilly? I'm like, I ain't even heard that record. Like,
I remember a chick. She was asking me, "Do you have Kylie Minogue?" And I was like,
right?
first of all,
Kylie Minogue.
it's it's Kylie Minogue. Second of all, like, no,
Yeah.
not right now. Like Kylie
Not
Minogue.
to mention, I mean, what record are you talking about? They're slow. There's all
Yeah.
these like what do you know what I'm saying? Like,
Like which Kylie Minogue? Like that's like, oh yo, play some Madonna. Okay, which Madonna?
yeah, it's
Like,
about 40 years of music.
yeah, like we talking
And-
erotica Madonna, we talking about bedtime stories Madonna, we
right.
talking about
By the
uh
way, did you hear that bedtime stories the new chapter?
no, I didn't.
Oh, so good. It's so good.
Shit. I'm about to listen to it after I get off with you.
It's basically the tracks that didn't make it onto bedtime stories, but it's on Spotify.
Damn, I'm not on Spotify
Are
like
you on
that no more.
Apple?
I am on Apple. Is it on Apple?
Boo. I don't know why I cannot. My fingers just do not work well with Apple Music. I don't know why.
I'm about to switch back to the plan, honestly, because I was just, you know what I'm saying? I was just like trying to budget or whatever, but I'm gonna
Yeah.
switch back to the plan because
Let me tell you
honestly,
something.
what?
Spotify, people will have their views or whatever. I don't want to get involved because I'm like, I ain't said it. My name's Bennett. I ain't in it. But what I will say is they got a nasty catalog. When I say like singles and remixes and stuff like, I thought up to this point, I've heard every remix of Deep Inside there is. Oh no,
Hmm.
there's 20 more, and they're all official. And I'm like,
Hmm.
oh, I think it's my favorite version to play. You know what I'm saying? Like, so
And
that's
then
why
on top of that, their personalization is crazy.
I
They
mean, just talk about it's witches and warlocks that must work there because how do y'all know like the algorithm is really good?
they'll know
They
what you
actually
will
put
really like.
they put me on the shit that I'll be like, nah, AI over here putting me on right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the crazy thing is, you know what I love using Chat GBT for?
What's that?
I will literally be like, Chat GBT, give me some songs that will go with joy, techno, what's it called? Is it why am I drawing a blank? See, everybody gonna think I'm fake. They're gonna be like, you don't listen to that shit. Techno pimp.
Mm,
Cause it's like, you know what I'm saying? Cause it's like it's those southern electronic sounds that like there's not a
hmm.
lot of it that exists that to me was reachable. So
Yeah.
ChatGPT will go in there and give me like a whole list of like, and then got the nerve to answer under, would you like me to go deeper? Deeper cuts? Nah, bitch, who is you? And then the list comes back, and I'm like, damn, am I fake crate digging right now? That's crazy.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing the same thing, and it's. I feel
Um,
like, but it's like for a righteous purpose. You know what I'm saying?
oh,
Because it's
well,
it's it's for the
sometimes
music.
I mean, time is just going real fast these days. Like, I just really don't be having the time, you know? But like, I feel like I just be like, all right, I love this record. Crazy. So I chat GBT because like when I heard the B-sides of Bedtime Stories,
Mm-hmm.
it's like what were Madonna's influences making Bedtime
Mm.
Stories? And they put up a bunch of interviews where that she was experimenting with like um a lot of like
More R&B producers stuff.
R&B, but like R&B and trip hop. And
Mm.
like, you know what I'm saying? All these like kind of garage like sounds.
Yeah.
That's why there's a couple of records on there that are like hip hop samples, but they almost
Mm-hmm.
sound kind of jungly.
Yeah.
Like, this bitch is tight.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. I think obviously it's what was happening at the time, Dallas
Yeah.
Austin, Babyface, like, but I'm just like, I think that's the thing I sometimes wish I was an adult at that era.
Mm.
I'm like, damn, I know they was having fun.
But I feel like you were a teenager in like the coolest freaking era because like I feel like I think about your era, I think like you were really in that Marc Jacobs heaven era. Like that Gregor Rocky
I like the
fucking
real
yeah.
era of that, that aesthetic of like, I mean, it was a lifestyle.
Like
You can see it in the films that came out around that time. Like films I like to juggle are like The Craft,
mm-hmm.
Players Club,
Mm-hmm.
Jawbreaker. You know what I'm saying? Like I can go real
Jawbreaker is
West,
a classic.
I can go real Hollywood, or I can go real Hollywood. Like I really love that spectrum of like, and it's crazy because it just seemed like there were no barriers.
Mm.
Gwen Stefani had pink cornrows.
That was yo, no
Like,
doubt. Gwen
can't do
Stefani,
that today.
yo,
Like a lot of girls can't do that today.
nah.
Because, like, first of all, why you even got braids in your hair?
But they
Every-
can't pull it off the way she did. Like she had like that confidence, like you know what
And
I'm
to me
saying?
personally, people can say what they want to say. I really feel like, that's the thing about culture, right? Is that
Hmm.
it is our culture and it is, our thing. But it's like, when you go somewhere like Japan and you see how their way of paying homage is submerging themselves into the culture and
Hmm.
learning it and living it, it becomes a part of their lifestyle. I don't think that I wouldn't say that's cosplay. You know what I'm saying? I
Mm.
mean, they're taking time to educate themselves about it. And so that's why it was kind of crazy for me when the first time I saw that there was in 2002, there was a Japanese woman named Junko Kudo who took title of Jamaica's dancehall queen.
Mm.
How crazy that must have been for a woman from Japan to take the title of dance hall queen of Jamaica.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? But it was like at the time, what she had done was like very like, I mean, I think it was unheard of at the time. And obviously, the people and the judges who were there, who were Jamaican, they thought it was undeniable. She
Mm.
passed through. You can't
Mm.
hate. She did the things.
Mm.
But also too, what I loved is that because I followed her for a while because I was like, damn, this is tight. You know what I'm saying? Like she lived it. She was in
Mm.
Jamaica. She was at Pasa Pasa. She was at, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I feel like sometimes people's spirits just be like drawn to certain things that are like, I don't know if we believe in past lives or what, but like, some people be like, well, you might have just been here already or something.
I'm not gonna lie, like I feel like that's me with like Spanish culture a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like I love
Who you talking to? Cause
like
the way you can't tell me. I love my little Latino set. Like
like
I love,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like I love these records. Like I love Kali Uchis, Bad Bunny, Carol G, like, and even the deeper cuts. Like I don't know if you ever saw on HBO Max. They had this show called La Veneno. Did you see that show?
La Veneno, yeah.
Yeah, it
La
was the show.
Veneno, Tino, yeah, yeah.
But
Hmm.
like, I literally like looked up the set. I didn't even know they had people who made music about her. You know what I'm saying? And so
Yeah.
that helped me find a bunch of like Latin house.
Mm-hmm.
And you come across songs like Cafe con Leche and like, you know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Like it's like Latin house, jazz, techno, and it's like this shit
mm.
is tight. I'm like,
All that stuff coming from like that Robbie Rivera era, all that
yeah,
shit, like it was
yeah.
hard, man.
I
You
mean,
know,
I missed it. I missed out. I should have been
shit,
listen.
I missed it. Shit. You at least you was in that like 90s like rave era. Like
I
that
mean,
shit was dope.
I can definitely say like I've seen a lot of great, and then we didn't even touch on the hyphy era in the Bay.
Oh yeah, you saw all
Nope.
that
And at one
too.
point in time, like, well, the funny thing is, a lot of people like my first video cameo was a Mac Dre video. Like, I'm actually in the video Boss Tycoon at the end. Like, it's a quick clip, but for me, it's like proof. It's like I was there
That's crazy. You was so how'd that even happen? You was just in the area. You like
outside. They filming videos outside in the hood, and like,
yo,
we just at the spot at the right time, and they out there filming a music video. You
wow.
know, and I think that's the surprise, right? About back in the day is that you just no one sent out a mass text and email was like, hey, we're filming downtown at 9 p.m. Can you all be there?
Mm,
Our shows were already huge. So like if you was with the shit and you was in the culture, you knew, all right, after the club, just pull up to the gas station. Everybody gonna be there.
mm,
You better your cameraman better just be ready to get them shots because
mm,
gas station gonna last for about 30, 45 minutes, then the cops gonna shut it down. Then we off
mm,
to the next gas station. Then before you know, we off to the next gas station. It's crazy. Like
mm,
it was definitely a time.
mm.
It
That
was a
sounds
time.
so cool. And then you
I
didn't
mean,
have to worry about like phones or nothing like that or being home. Like,
nope. And our phones only had limited like, you either had like a Metro, which is a Metro PCS, which is like what the only game on there was Snake, or you had like a BlackBerry, or you had the BlackBerry Pearl, or you had a Sidekick. And like these phones were like you couldn't do nothing but call and text on them.
mm,
So you really wasn't browsing the World Wide Web trying to do nothing.
mm,
The crazy thing about that era too is I feel like a lot of us were actually self-taught learning how to code through MySpace. Because you remember how you had to like do your
yeah.
codes
Yup.
to fix your page.
Mm-hmm. Or
And
have it look a certain way. Yup.
yeah, I'll
All
be
that.
like, how you get a top 20? I thought only one was the top 8. You know what I'm saying? And your friend be like, oh, copy this code and put it in HTML on the back end. And to
Mm-hmm.
break it up, do a backslash and do an underscore. Like,
That was coding.
I feel like we were on our way to being like very intelligent young adults who knew how to build websites.
I,
And
th- I
then,
I agree with that. I think technology became more
yeah,
like
it made it more convenient. You know what I'm
more
saying?
convenient but
Yeah,
less intelligent, like less like
yeah.
intelligent for a way to
They
like for
created
people to learn.
smartphones and we became stupid.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
exactly.
saying? Like we literally became stupid. And so I've just been trying to find the bearings on like my relationship with these tools, right? It's like making sure that my laptop is like I don't download nothing on there but music. Like this is just only for DJing, or like, what I'm using my phone for, like I haven't even like I have so much content that I need to, and I don't want to say I need to post because I don't need to post anything. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But there's content that should be because Instagram has now become our portfolios.
Hmm.
It should be up as current work.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? I'll do it when I get around to it. But for now, we booking, so it's all good.
I was gonna say, so this technology thing, how do you feel like you keep a vibe to where people are dancing and not on their phones?
Mm,
Because it's a big like issue in the club.
yeah,
People just be on their phones. Like
yeah.
how important do you think like what you were talking about earlier with like creating an ambiance, like keeping it dark in there, keeping it no lights, keeping it grown and sexy,
I
like
think I think as long as like
mm,
music selections move the soul. If you're playing from the heart, I feel like people could feel it.
mm,
Um, you know what I'm saying? And like you said, it's something that's unfortunately out of our control.
Yeah.
But as long as they're having a good time, you know what I'm saying? That phone is usually put up,
Mm.
it's usually put away,
Mm.
you know. But I feel like, yeah, that's the only way is just to literally just keep hitting them with the bangers.
Mm.
Keep that BPM up. You know what I'm saying? Like I used to like coming into the club and starting at around like 80 and building my way up.
Mm-hmm.
Now I just come in at 90 or 100, and by the time people come in, I'm like, yeah, y'all ready to go. Because I feel
Mm.
like by 11 o'clock, shit, I used to wait till like 12 to get into my 120. Mm-mm. It seems
Mm.
like people are real hyper. They want to be like up, you know?
Yeah. People want to hear that from people. I feel like people want to hear like the moment, the shit from outside the club while they're
They
waiting in
do.
line.
Yeah, like
Like,
you don't want to like wait for that momentum to build anymore.
yeah,
Before it was a slow build. I think now they want to walk right into it.
yeah,
And if you're not, they're gonna leave and come back when it's finally time to go up.
mm-hmm,
So I feel like, yeah, it's like knowing the craft is knowing your crowd and like knowing your time.
mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that's just crazy. But
What I was gonna ask, and this is gonna be my last question because I know you're busy and stuff. So, what was like something that you want to just impart on the other DJs like coming up and people that, because we've covered a lot of ground. Like what's
yeah,
something and I really appreciate that. So like what's something that you think is like this is something I want all DJs to know, or people just coming up in the club scene, not even
yeah.
just DJs, but people in the, that love this music, that love clubs, that love, just the culture, that really in it because they just love it. Like, what's something that you want to tell them? Because
Um,
clubbing has sound like it's played such a big role in your life.
no, for sure. I definitely found myself in the club, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Um, if I was gonna give any advice to DJs,
Mm-hmm.
I would say, DJ etiquette is not dead. You know what I'm saying? I think
Mm-hmm.
it's really important to create the kind of atmosphere in a booth that's inviting to the DJ that's coming up after you. Or if you're coming in, there's a way to set up. There's a way to, you know what I'm saying? First, don't just walk in the booth and just be like, I'm finna get on at 11. It's like, yo,
Mm-hmm.
what's up? I'm so and so. Nice to meet you. They got me going on at 11. You know what I'm saying? And whoever's playing, I feel like it's your job to make sure there's enough space for that DJ to come in and get comfortable. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? I've been at a number of functions where somebody just walk in and start reaching around. I'm like, bitch, fuck is you
Mm-hmm.
doing? And that's already kicking it off on the wrong, you don't want to pass that musical. We're the heartbeat of the club, which is crazy because we're the only people that leave without getting paid. See, that's another problem, right? This invoice thing has got to change. I just went to play in Sacramento. When I tell you I was on my big Aretha Franklin, like they paid me cash when I left. Like, who does that? No one does that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And at this point, I'm really fighting for DJs to leave with their money the night of. Because here's the thing. Although you have accounting, and that's cute or whatever, although you have X, Y, and Z, I watch dancers leave with their tips. I watch barbacks leave with their tips. Busboys leave with their tips. I mean, I think, oh, bartenders, busboys. I'm pretty sure everyone leaves with cash except for us. And we're actually the heartbeat of this shit. Ain't no uh ain't no Harlem shaking, a nay naying, nothing going on without the DJ.
Mm-hmm.
So I really want to put that in the universe for a lot of us to start getting paid the night of. Because we're creatives, the last thing we trying to do is go home and fill out an invoice. If that's the case, could I just give you my W-9 the night of and you could just pay me out cash?
Mm-hmm.
What's wrong with that? I'm pretty
Mm-hmm.
sure they have a good excuse to try to explain and confuse and manipulate on why they can't, but whatever, that's another story. But really just going back to DJ etiquette,
Mm-hmm.
um, knowing that we all are in this industry together, and it's like, yeah, like there's been times where like, I've seen DJs just kind of like unplug their shit and dip and not even
Mm-hmm.
wait till the second DJ was on, playing, and good to go.
Yeah.
They fidgeting around with RCA cords. Like, damn, you got a phone. Give them your light on your phone. You know, let people know that you're here to help. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
It's not a con because the thing is, when you rush and do that shit where you just, oh, I'm out, it gives like competitive vibe.
yeah.
Too much, you know?
We're not competing.
And as far as the club goers go, I can't control the weekend warriors because that's just what they do. You know, they work 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. But I really want to encourage the dancers in the dance community to come out and pop on that floor because that was really your home before the class, right? Now it's all about, oh, I'm gonna go take class and then I'm gonna get it videotaped and I'm gonna do all my fab stuff on camera and I'm gonna just let it live there.
Mm,
Some of the best dancers in the world were found in these nightclubs.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? And so I really want to encourage the dance community to get your ass outside and come let it rip because us as DJs, we need that. We need that exchange. Dancers and DJs, we go together. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm saying like I can't really control like average Joe Schmoes who just come off the street because it's like, are you here to drink? Are you here to dance? You know what I'm saying? So it's like the mentality. I mean, I feel like DJs and dancers are usually what make a club hot.
mm.
And then
Definitely.
the everyday, like, just the other occupant, they just come in and feed off of our energy.
Mm,
So it's really all about atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? And I really encourage people to like, yeah, just come on and have fun. You know what I'm saying? Like, and to give the DJs a break. Everyone has so much opinion about, well, I hate this club because this DJ is doing this and this DJ is doing, then go to another club. You know what I'm saying? Like, I see so many people ripping DJs on like TikTok and Twitter and stuff like that about what they're not doing. But what you fail to realize is that you're not doing it either because you're not a DJ. So, you know what I'm saying?
speak on it. Speak on it.
Yeah, like I just kind of feel like everybody has an opinion, but like nobody, like, not too many people live the experience.
And like one thing I
At
feel
that point, I'm
like
like, let me give you the aux score. What's up? What you got?
exactly, and
And imagine putting me something and I'm like, mm-mm.
I feel like people overvalue negative opinions too much because they feel like, oh,
Yeah,
that's being real. But it's
it's
like,
vibing.
no, nah, that's just being an asshole.
I mean, don't get me wrong,
Like,
like, I think it's important to keep it real, but there's a
yeah,
difference between keeping it real and just being mean.
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And I
Exactly.
think they scare a lot of people away from trying because
Mm,
people are like, nah, they about to fuck me up. I ain't even gonna try. And it's like, you could potentially be like hindering the next big DJ because now they're
hmm.
afraid to bust a grape on the dance
Yeah.
floor because, you know. But granted, I feel like, yeah, the message I want to leave is just come and have fun. We're here for a good time, not a long time. And just, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't let it die. You know what I'm saying? Don't let the
Mm,
culture die. Like, I just feel like, I found myself in the club, in multiple clubs at that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
mm,
that's where I built a lot of my people skills. That's where I got a lot of my network from. I've met some of the greatest people in clubs and we became friends and we're like friends to this day. And it's like
mm,
all like kind of through our love of music, fashion, art, dance. And it all kind of like, you let your hair down and it lives in the clubs at night.
mm.
There's other stuff that lives there too, but like, yeah, we're gonna balance it
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We ain't even paying
we can't
attention
control
to
that. Yeah, we can't control that other stuff. But
that.
what you can control is the energy that you bring to the floor. So just come with the good energy and the good vibes. And yeah, if you don't like the music, get the fuck out. No, I'm just playing. For
Yo, thank you so
real.
much, Monty. I had such a great time like just connecting with you. Also, just seeing your face, man. It's been too
Oh,
long.
no, for
Um,
real. It's
I
been good.
definitely consider you like a mentor, just because you just always shown me love, man, and you've inspired me, especially on this DJ path, man. Like I remember talking to you and being like, "Yeah, I want to do it." You were just like, "Just do it," and
Yeah.
like it was. Yeah, man, it's been a lot, but I just
There's
appreciate
no
you.
sign up sheet.
There isn't. You
There's
just got
no
to
sign,
do it.
and anybody out there who wants to start, there's no sign up sheet.
No.
Jump in and do it. It's like I love when people are like, "How'd you get started?" I was like, I just started telling people this is what I do, and you guys are dumb enough to
Yeah.
believe it. And I was able to fake it till I make it, and now I'm here. No, I'm playing.
Nah,
Yep,
man,
no, for
but
sure. Thank you for having me. Thank you for this platform. I love the passion that you have for club culture, fashion, music,
mhm,
art, all things creative. It's the thing that very much saves a lot of our lives. I
yeah,
think without it, a lot of us would be out here naked, like we wouldn't know what to do. So I really admire like your drive, determination, and your quest for knowledge. You know what I'm saying? And I swear it's gonna lead you down, you know what I'm saying, the craziest rabbit holes that's gonna help propel you into the spaces that you need to be in. So
mm,
keep positive and just keep doing your thing and just know that, myself along with many others are here to support you.
most definitely. With that, this is Raw Club Archives episode 2. I just want to give a shout out again to you, Monty. I'm gonna, press the D record now.
Yeah.
And yeah, appreciate y'all. Peace.
All right.